All right, this is part 2 of the summer shred series, the mini cut. I might start doing it in days again. Probably make the first episode like day 12 or whatever, because I actually started the cut a while back. I just didn't record the videos. But regardless, this is day number whatever it ends up being. I didn't record the shoulder and bicep workout that came after the leg day. So here's the back workout. I actually didn't end up recording chest and shoulders or today's leg day, which I'm going to start being more consistent starting tomorrow. Shoulders and biceps I will record. However, this is back. So what do I do for back? Is there anything special that I do for back? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Back to the basics, lat pull downs and rows and just the simple stuff. So first exercise is a pull down. I used to start with barbell rows sometimes, but I feel like I get more activation starting off with the lat pull down. And I feel like it's really important not to waste any sets of your workout by not feeling anything very well. So by starting with the pull down, I get crazy activation. So for the later sets, if I do end up going heavy or going a little sloppy on form, I still feel like crazy in my back because it's so pumped from this lat pull down, which I'm doing in a way that allows me to get the best contraction and the best mind-muscle connection with the lats, probably the hardest muscle to do that with. So you're going to notice my usual weight is not on here. I'm not throwing around the full stack, but you can see my range of motion is a lot better than what it used to be. There's a little bit less swinging, though you can argue it's around the same amount. But remember, I'm in a calorie deficit at this point, which means I'm a lot weaker than I usually would be. So for me to be doing 240, which is like one peg under the full stack, while cutting and having more range of motion and still doing like a good amount of reps, I think that's pretty freaking impressive. By the time I go back on the surplus, I think I'm going to be throwing the stack around with good form like it's absolutely nothing. So I'm pretty excited for that to come around. As for my goals with the cut, I'm not entirely sure how far I'm trying to go with this. I told myself I wanted to get to a stage where I could still train hard. I could still get a good contraction every time I trained. The pumps were still good, but I just wanted to be a lot leaner so the next time I pushed the bulk, I would look good. Now, this kind of diet is not difficult because I'm not in a crazy deficit, but it's also not fun because I still do feel it. I could eat a lot more. I feel like I'm leaving gains on the table, but that just isn't the case. When I do posing, I still see my muscles the same way in terms of their size. It's just that a lot of the places on my body have lost the water retention, some fat stores as well. Even my arms, which don't usually store that much fat or water, have gotten a little bit more definition, which is great, obviously. But to really see the definition in the important places like the glutes, hamstrings, and quads, and lower midsection for me personally, I'm going to have to get a lot leaner, which means the cut is probably going to continue for a decent little while here. Probably around mid-September, it will end, maybe beginning of September, maybe beginning of October. Remember, it just depends what I feel like. Depends on how I feel, depends on how my training is going. If it's going like shit, then I'm just going to stop it prematurely. If it's going great, I'm going to continue it. Simple as that. Anyways, back to the workout. Here with the lat pull down, sometimes I don't feel it as much. Maybe I didn't drink enough water. Maybe my sleep sucked. Maybe I'm not eating a lot because I'm on a cut. I don't get the best pump. So what do? I do a drop set, and that really helps drive more lactic acid into the area, burn out the muscle so that for our later working sets, we feel it like crazy. On exercises like rows where you usually can't feel it the best, you're still going to feel it really well after doing a pull down first. So my recommendation, unless you're specifically going for back width, I would recommend going and starting with a pull down movement or at least some kind of pullover if you have the opportunity to use the Dorian Yates pullover machine, which if you have that, I am highly jealous. Okay, moving on, we have the seated cable row. So literally, the first two exercises are the two most simple exercises for back in the gym. It's the easy pull down and like the simplest row variation you can figure out. How do you do a cable row? You got to specifically lean forward. Are you allowed to swing? My recommendation is just pull the weight. Pull with your elbows, drive in with your elbows, and pull with your actual back, not with your arms. And there you go. Like, it's simple. Certain cues, like allowing the stretch, aren't necessary. I just do them because I find that they work for me sometimes. Like, I don't always do them. You'll even notice that in this workout, the entire workout isn't me doing the stretch movement with the seated cable row. The last set, I just swing the weight around like normal. With these first few sets here, you'll see what I'm doing as I'm allowing it to stretch my back out, really just drive in blood and nutrients in that area, get it absolutely pumped to oblivion, That is the goal with every workout. Get a crazy pump, crazy contraction to stimulate the muscle as much as possible, and doing the stretch here allows me to do that more than usual. Now, why do I do the last set of going heavy and just swinging the weight around? Because that too, contrary to popular belief, allows for a significant amount of growth. So I do a combination of both. I just feel like that works best for me. And if it doesn't for you, then change up your training. It's just simple. I don't know why it has to be so complicated. So this variation of the cable pullover, unilateral cable pullover, whatever, it's become one of my favorite back exercises, especially towards the latter end of the workout, because as you can see here, it gets a really good squeeze and a really good stretch. So what I used to do is kneel and do it. Instead, now I just like push myself against this side of the cable stack, and basically from there I just row it. I kind of lean towards the side I'm emphasizing so I can get a better squeeze at the bottom. And this just allows me to fix any imbalances by doing it unilaterally. And it's more of an isolation exercise, which you at sometimes need to have as well. You can't just be doing heavy rows and heavy pull downs. At some point, you got to be doing your accessories to really drive in the detail in the area. So it's 4 sets of the pull down, 3 sets of the cable row, and 3 sets of the unilateral row. And I'm doing some posing here. Unfortunately, it looks like incredibly good on my phone, but when I export this to my computer, it doesn't look nearly as good. So here is my back posing. You can see like there's a lot of mass there, but the detail just isn't there like it was on the phone, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I think I'm actually going to stop posing in this room. I tried doing it with low exposure and it looks really good on the phone, as I mentioned, but on the computer, it just looks highly mediocre. So I'm going to move it to the change room, which had like good lighting for both computer and phone. So I'm just going to do it there from now on. So you can actually see my freaking lat spread properly, unlike here. Looks just like a turtle's back. Anyways, that's it for posing. Remember, we're doing our rear delts on back day. Why? I just feel like it works better. So I do rear delts on back day. On the shoulder day, I really just want to focus on pressing and lateral raises. So I don't really want to worry about my back. So I do rear delts here. I do 4 sets of the reverse pec deck, which is probably my favorite rear delt exercise. Honestly, it's simple, it works, it activates the muscle. That's all you really need from an exercise. You'll see that I don't go all the way forward and all the way back. I don't want to lose too much tension because in those parts of the movement, you're just overexerting yourself for no reason. There's no real tension on the rear delt in that part of the movement, so why the hell would you do it? Simple as back workout. Nothing has changed from my first back workout to my current back workout in terms of exercise selection. Is literally just the way I do the exercises, how I implement slow and controlled reps as well as heavy reps. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, if you follow this back workout, you're eating a lot and you're doing what you got to do, you're going to make crazy gains. It's simple as that. Hope you liked the video, and let's freaking get shredded, goddammit.